The Starborn Princess and the Shadow King. Once upon a time, in a realm beyond the reach of mortal hands, there existed a kingdom suspended among the stars. This celestial domain, known as Lumora, was a place of ethereal beauty, where the skies shimmered with silver light and the rivers ran with liquid stardust. At the heart of Lumora stood a palace of luminous crystal, and within its radiant walls dwelled Princess Astra, the Starborn Princess. Astra was unlike any other being. Her hair gleamed like the constellations, her eyes mirrored the endless night sky, and her very presence glowed with an otherworldly luminescence. She had been born of the heavens, gifted with the power to weave light and song into magic. The people of Lumora adored their princess, for her heart was as kind as the glow of the morning star. However, beyond the celestial borders of Lumora, there lurked a kingdom of darkness, the Umbrathane, realm of the Shadow King. His domain stretched across an abyss of eternal night, where whispers of despair rode on the wind, and the air hung thick with sorrow. The Shadow King, known as Noctis, ruled with an iron will. He was a being of living shadow, his form ever shifting like tendrils of smoke, his eyes two endless voids. Legend spoke of how Noctis had once been a prince of light, cast into darkness for his insatiable hunger for power. Envious of the radiance of Lumora, he sought to claim its light for himself, to shroud the stars in his endless night. One fateful evening, when the stars aligned in a rare celestial dance, Noctis sent forth his shadowy wraiths to steal the source of Lumora's light, the heart of the heavens, a radiant gemstone that kept the kingdom afloat among the stars. Without it, Lumora would descend into the abyss, swallowed forever by the darkness. Astra, upon learning of the theft, refused to stand idly by. She gathered her courage and descended from the celestial palace, stepping beyond the light's embrace into the land of the Umbrathane. Guided only by the silver threads of fate that wove through the cosmos, she journeyed through the dark realm, where shadows whispered secrets and illusions danced like specters before her eyes. As Astra ventured deeper into the Shadow King's domain, she found herself at the gates of the Umbral Keep, a fortress forged from obsidian and void. The air was thick with magic, cold and hungry, pressing against her light like an unrelenting tide. With a whispered invocation, she wove starlight into a shield around her and stepped inside. Noctis awaited her in his throne room, seated upon a dais of black stone. Shadows curled around him, flickering like ghostly flames. "You are bold to walk into my realm, Starborn Princess," he mused, his voice a smooth melody of night winds. "Do you seek to reclaim what I have taken?" Astra met his gaze, unwavering. "I seek the heart of the heavens. Lumora will perish without it." Noctis chuckled, though there was a hint of something unreadable in his expression. "And if I refuse, what will the Daughter of Light do in the embrace of darkness?" She lifted her chin. "I will not leave without it." A pause stretched between them, the air thick with tension. Then, to her surprise, Noctis rose from his throne and descended the steps, stopping just before her. His form wavered for a brief moment, and in his shadowed eyes, she glimpsed something more than hunger, something longing. "You misunderstand me, Astra," he murmured. "I did not steal the heart merely to destroy your kingdom. I stole it because I wish to understand light. I have lived in shadow for an eternity. I have forgotten what it means to feel warmth." Astra was silent, considering his words. "Then return it," she said softly, "and I will show you the warmth of the stars." Noctis hesitated. The shadows around him flickered, uncertain. He had expected anger, expected battle, but not kindness. Not an offer of something he had long believed lost to him. After a long moment, he turned and with a wave of his hand, summoned the heart of the heavens. The radiant gemstone pulsed with light, illuminating the dark chamber with celestial brilliance. Astra reached out and took it, but instead of retreating, she extended her other hand to Noctis. "Come with me," she offered. "See the stars as they were meant to be seen, not as something to be stolen, but something to be shared." For the first time in an age, Noctis hesitated not out of calculation, but out of uncertainty. Then, slowly, he reached out and took her hand. The moment their fingers met, a soft glow flickered at the edges of his darkness. Together they returned to Lumora, and as the heart of the heavens was restored, the kingdom shone brighter than ever. Noctis, though still a being of shadows, found that he was no longer bound by them. In the presence of Astra's light, he could exist without hunger, without despair. And in time, the two rulers, one of light, one of shadow, learned to walk the path between night and day, finding balance where once there had been only longing. Thus, Lumora and the Umbrathane were no longer realms apart, but two halves of a greater whole, forever entwined in the endless waltz of stars and darkness.